Vision boards and house cleaning. What do the two have to do with each other? We're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question and I get to help you find an answer. Now today's show is brought to us by mycleaningconnection.com, which is a resource hub for a bunch of really cool cleaning stuff. And on there are a bunch of blogs that delve into very different areas of house cleaning and building your own house cleaning business and finding your steps to success. But what we want to talk about today is vision boards. All right, now back in the 1990s when I was starting my house cleaning business, there were coaches, and they were motivational coaches and motivational speakers, and they were people that would help you get from point A to point B. And the big thing at the time were to create what were called vision boards. And the vision boards were like, imagine a great big cork board that's on the side of your wall. And then you go through magazines and you cut out pictures and you find pictures that represent things that you want to have. And you post those up on the board. And then every day when you show up for the day, you look at your vision board and you say to yourself, that's for me. And you imagine those things in your life. Now, at the time I was living in a trailer. It was a single wide trailer. And I had a small, old, rundown, pre-owned Honda that I was driving. And I loved looking at the luxurious things in life, and I would cut out pictures and post them up there and say, that's for me. And one of the things that was important to me was having a sewing machine and a serger, because growing up in a large family, I sewed a lot of my own clothing. And so one day when I grew up, I was going to be a clothing designer. That was my destination. Anyway, I wanted a sewing machine and a serger, along with some other things that I wanted, that I cut out and I hung up on this vision board. Well, what was interesting is I didn't have a picture of a house, but I knew that I did not want to live in a single wide trailer for the rest of my life. And because I was cleaning in homes, and I was cleaning in modest size homes, but I wanted to live in a really nice house. And so what I did is I got in the car and I drove around to different neighborhoods, and I found a neighborhood that spoke to me. And as I drove in the neighborhood, all of the yards were very well manicured. And there were people out walking their dogs and people pushing their kids in the strollers. And there was a community center that had a swimming pool. And kids were playing outside. And there were tennis courts and people were playing tennis and badminton or whatever. And as I drove through the neighborhood and I looked at the houses, I found a house. And I don't know why, but it caught my attention. And I was like, that is for me. And at the time I had this little tiny snapshot camera, the kind where you take in and you have the film developed. And I took a picture of this house so that I would have a picture that I could put on my vision board. So I went home and I got the picture developed and I hung it up on my board and I looked at it for years and whatever. Anyway, years went by, and as the years went by, all the things on the board started coming true for me. One of the biggest, most exciting cars that I was going to have on my vision board was a Honda Accord. It was way out of my price range, but I knew that it was like the fancy version of the Honda. And I knew that I could also put a vacuum cleaner on the back seat of it so that I could still get to and from my cleaning jobs. So when I got my Honda Accord, that meant I was going to arrive in style. All right, so anyway, the years go by, and as things grew in my life and I was able to get some of those things on the board, I would take the pictures off and I would upgrade them with new pictures like, this is the next step. But I kept that picture of the house up there for many years. Anyway, one day I was moving, and it's interesting because I took the board down. But as I took the board down, I took a picture of the board so that I would never forget what my goals were back in the 90s where I started. And it was interesting because that went on a flash drive, and as we upgraded computers and whatever, I made a digital version of that and I saved it. Well, in recent times, I came across a whole bunch of CDs that I was transferring back to a hard disk on my computer. And as I was transferring it over, I found some old photos. And one of the photos was my vision board. And as I was looking over my vision board, I had a really freaky moment where as I looked at the vision board, I saw the picture of the house that was on my vision board that I'd been looking at since the 90s. And I took a copy of the picture, and it's grainy because the quality that we had in our photos back then is not very good. And I sent the picture to my husband. I said, what does this remind you of? He said, that's our house. Why? Oh, wait, that's not our house. He said, we have a side load garage and this is a front load garage. Oh my gosh, though, that's our house. And I looked at it and I said, that is exactly our house. It was the same design of the house, the same elevation, with the exception that we had a side load garage and this was a front load garage. But the house itself, the little windows where everything was set up, the elevation, the door, the walkway up to the door, it looked like the house that I live in right now. And I sat there going, oh, isn't that interesting? Because I haven't seen this picture now. It's been 10 or 15 years since that board came down and we moved from other houses or whatever. But the reality is, in the back of my mind was still working on that vision board. All right, it's interesting because all the stuff that was once on my vision board I now own and it's now a part of my life. Or I've moved on from it and I've gone to the next upgraded version. Here's how it works. You get a visual picture of what you want and you become very crystal clear on what that is and what it looks like for you. Because it's hard to arrive at a destination if you don't know what the destination is. It's like if you get in your car and you're going to go from here to your friend's house, but you don't know where your friend lives and you want to type in your friend's address. Just having the friend's address is not good enough. You have to know where your starting point is so that it can map a route from here to there. And once you have the coordinates, then you can get there. Now, our minds work a lot like Google. It's just amazing. When you plug something in, your unconscious mind starts to find situations and scenarios to make that true. It's like making a request on Google. Google goes out and it tries to find an answer and brings it back to you. And it's not sure, so it brings you back like 6 or 10 choices. Did you mean this? Did you mean this? Did you mean this or this? And then if you scroll all the way to the bottom of a Google page, there are more suggestions. Well, our unconscious mind does the same thing. And it keeps presenting opportunities. Did you mean this? Did you mean this? Did you mean this? And then what's interesting is even when you dream at night, your unconscious mind is still in a state of presenting ideas to you. So that is this what you mean? For example, did you ever have to go to the bathroom in the night and you're dreaming of you're at some public place and you're looking for a bathroom and then you can't find a bathroom. And so then finally you wake up because your unconscious mind says, no, that's not the right scenario. Don't go now. Wait, because we can't find one. And because you can't find one, that's when it wakes you up and it brings you back to the conscious world. So it's an example of your unconscious mind is still searching. And it's always searching until you turn that off. So if you want success in the house cleaning business, what I recommend you doing is creating a vision board. What does success look like to you? And where are you starting from? If you're starting from right here, right now, that's important to know. What is your next step? What is your next car? What is your next house? What is involved in your life that you don't have right now that you want to have? And I'm going to go one step even further to say that if what you want are happy customers, put pictures of happy customers up there. Put pictures of a happy staff up there. Put pictures of company cars with logos on the side or whatever it is that you want to see your business achieve in the future. Because if you can't envision it, and if you can't find the coordinates from here to there, if your unconscious mind doesn't know what it's looking for, you're never going to arrive. There are a whole bunch of people that sabotage their success in the house cleaning business because they have no game plan. They have no goal, they have no vision board, they don't know what they're after. What they think they're after is a little bit of money today that pays their bills. And if that's as far as you can see, that's all you're going to get. But if you can paint a bigger picture and you can get your unconscious mind involved, it will start looking for scenarios in order to make that true. So that is what vision boards have to do with house cleaning. And my recommendation is that you not walk, but run to the nearest office supply store and either get a cork board so you can pin pictures up, or find a way that you can create a website that holds all of these pictures. But my request is that you visit and revisit that destination board at least twice a day. First thing in the morning when you get up, last thing at night before you go to bed. You want to remind yourself through the day, everything that I do is going to lead me toward these destinations. And as I go to bed at night, all the unconscious thoughts that I have are going to try to find solutions so that I can arrive at these destinations. And once you do that, it is amazing what's going to happen in your life because it starts to come true almost without you. Situations will unfold and they will piece themselves together that present exactly what you were envisioning. All right, that's my 2 cents for today, and until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.